Hey, Ben Norman here, and today I want to talk about sacking your software. And what do I mean by this? So every year, sometimes every quarter, depending on how you work, you bring in your team, you give them an appraisal, you go through, you look at what they're doing in line with their job spec, what their duties and responsibilities are. But people don't do this with their software. They just say, well, this is what we use, we've always used this. Okay, but is it working for this, that and the other? I don't know, but this is our CRM, we've always used it. You know, technology moves at such a fast rate, and some software updates with that and some go stale. If you don't keep ahead of that curve, you are going to miss out. You know, your competitors are trying to stay on every single part they can to kind of get that edge on everybody else, and that's what you need to do. You know, we do this with our teams and our employees by making sure that we make changes to their job roles and their job specs, and we update our processes to make sure that, you know, we're doing everything, you know, to the optimum way of doing it to get the best results. But with our software, what we need to be doing is looking at the role we want it to perform. Is it performing that role? You know, how many issues are you having with it a year? You know, is it crashing? Is it constantly going down? Do your team whinge about it because it's just so slow? You know, I've seen examples of people that the software's there, but actually when you dig down, people aren't even using it because it's got so slow, people don't want to use it, so they just don't. It almost hinders their ability to do their job. So it's really important to keep a list of all of your software and the systems that you use to do the main parts of your job, your CRMs, you know, your lead automation, even things like phone systems. You know, you need to be looking and going, is this doing the job that I need it to do now to take us to the next stage? You know, are you sat there, you're trying to go remote, but you're using a typical PBX phone system that's like nailed to the wall in your office, you know? You need to be going with more of a VoIP system so that people have got soft phones on their laptops and apps on their mobile. You know, it's about staying ahead of that curve. So, you know, if you haven't already, I suggest you get a list of all of the main software and systems that you use within your business and work out what that job role is for that piece of system. What is it you've got it there to do? Because some people spend, you know, tens of thousands on software that actually, when you dig down, they're not even using it anymore. You know, they're wasting so much money a year on software that's not even used. So, you know, that can be much better put to use somewhere else. So if you're not already, you know, go through, audit your software and systems, work out where the gaps are. You know, do you need to migrate to another platform? Do you just need to talk to the people that actually have implemented that system and get them to kind of pull their socks up a bit to get you to the next stage? Maybe you need to go up a tier with what you're looking, but you know, you should be treating your systems and your software like the employees and your team and making sure that they are doing the job you need them to do.